Shawn, the housing industry is experiencing rapid transformation. What changes are you seeing, and what are you most excited about?
As a provider of energy efficiency and weatherization solutions, I think we get pretty excited when we see these transformative actions that are driving energy efficiency in the housing industry. So we're really excited to see the move towards continuous insulation that's really being adopted by builders as really the best solution to meet the new codes and standards. So things like, whether it's 21 IECC code or Energy Star 3.2, we are seeing builders actually redesigning their building envelopes to adopt continuous insulation. And CI has just become a regular topic in the market these days. So that's been pretty exciting. Of course, very relevant to decarbonization and managing our operational carbon. But I think if you look across the entire carbon spectrum and you focus also on the embodied carbon side, one thing that's just really moving really quickly is the conversation on environmental product declarations, so our EPDs. And we've just seen really over the last 6 months, a year, just more and more builders asking about our EPDs, which again is really exciting to see because it's really how we tackle that embodied carbon side of the equation.
Tell us a little bit about the products that DuPont offers with EPDs.
First, I'd kind of start by saying that I think we're seeing folks looking at EPDs for maybe a few different reasons. Some are starting the journey just to kind of understand what's out there. Some are actually starting to measure the embodied carbon of their builds, which is kind of the next step. And then others are even starting to manage and maybe set targets about how do we drive down the embodied carbon of our builds. So as you mentioned, we've been able to meet that demand for EPDs. We've actually been providing EPDs on our products for about a decade now. But it's something that we know we need to continue doing, especially when it comes to something like product innovation. So, for example, we did recently innovate to reduce the embodied carbon of our styrofoam brand XPS insulation product, and we achieved a pretty impressive 94% reduction in embodied carbon through that innovation. And so naturally, we're communicating this progress through our EPDs. So we're sort of using EPDs to provide our customers, in that case, both with the embodied carbon for the new product, but also with a comparison versus the previous product, so you can kind of really see what that impressive 94% reduction means.
Can you talk a little bit about how DuPont is addressing resiliency, both in terms of your products, but also in terms of your company?
But from a business resiliency perspective, you're speaking directly to sort of the overall ESG risk management perspective. And that idea in terms of how do you essentially future-proof your business is what I think motivates the entire business engagement in ESG, because that things are changing, that there are likely risks that you may not have planned for, and so you really need to be looking around the corner at that. And I think that future-looking ESG sort of mindset just helps get you there. So we're doing a lot of work in that area. Definitely, it continues to evolve, and even the state of the art, the best practice continues to evolve in terms of what scenarios do you look at, how do you translate those scenarios into like specific risks or even opportunities, right, based on where your strategy is going. And I'd say we're definitely in the earlier stages as far as being just being the experts in that space, but we know we need to keep looking because, again, undeniably, there are those risks that are coming that we need to recognize as a business and plan for.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about the Vision House Las Vegas project that we are collectively doing with Beazer Homes. We're very excited about this project because through the project, Beazer is really showcasing that they are raising the bar on their competitive set of production builders by committing to build all zero energy ready homes by 2025 throughout all of their national portfolio of homes. So how do you think that a project like the Vision House Las Vegas helps the housing sector cross the Rubicon, so to speak, with respect to sustainability?
In terms of the crossing the Rubicon theme, which I love, it's about the die being cast and, there's no going back, right? And I think that when it comes to just carbon overall as an area to be measured and managed, there's no going back on that. I think at some point in the not too distant future, carbon's really going to become a common language for everybody in the value chain. And so that's really exciting. But I think, specific to this project is, specific to the Vision House Las Vegas project is the carbon modeling that's going to be done with the project. So in the project, right, there are plans for a detailed accounting of the carbon footprint of the builds. And that's just really exciting because it gives us a sense of, what does it look like to achieve a net carbon or a net zero carbon for the building? And, using, I'm sure, really good LCA, work and EPDs and all those things. But for me, that's a really exciting area just to see how in this project, the carbon modeling aspect comes together. I think when we think about that space, there's really a lot that we can all learn about decarbonizing the overall housing sector. And, through the learnings that we'll have in this project, I think, as we like to say in DuPont, it's really going to help us learn what we need to do in order to build and innovate as if our future depends on it, because we know that it does.